Hello students, welcome, Hoshamdeed and Hosh Galdenis. In today's discussion, we are going to discuss the period of transition from Dark Ages to Renaissance. As we all know that the period of Dark Ages or Middle Ages was marked by the 100 years of war and pandemic and Black Death. But according to a few critics, this was merely the exaggeration of the age. According to them, Dark Ages or Middle Ages were not that dark, but however, there came a remarkable change in the patterns with and around the 14th century in Europe. This transition was named as Renaissance or Renaissance. Renaissance means the revival and rebirth. So, Renaissance is actually the name of a time period that is marked by the revival and rebirth of knowledge and wisdom in Europe. Renaissance first emerged in Italy and France around 14th century, and then gradually it reached to England almost around 16th century. Renaissance can be defined as a fervent period of European political, economic, artistic, and cultural revival. And it was started around 476 AD. Now the question arises, what were the factors that caused this remarkable revolution that is known as Renaissance? The answer is there are certain factors. There are some very important factors that were working on the basis of this transition and this rebirth and revival of knowledge and wisdom in Europe. Let's discuss the factors. The very first factor is the emergence of humanism. The second factor is the invention of printing press. And the third factor is the invention of gunpowder. These were the focal factors behind the revival and rebirth. How these factors led to the emergence of Renaissance, let's discuss. First of all, I'm going to discuss with you the emergence of humanism. Humanism can be defined as the study of human. The slogan of humanism is that man is the center of universe. Man is the center of creation. Man is the center of every transition or every decision of this universe. What had brought that very concept of humanism with it? The answer is the story begins after the fall of Constantinople. After the fall of Constantinople, when Ottoman king Sultan Muhammad Fateh conquered the Constantinople that is currently known as Istanbul, it was earlier on that time was the hub of Christian civilization and Greek civilization. And the Greeks and Latin scholars were there with their precious knowledge of and precious philosophy of the Greek civilization. After the fall of Constantinople, they just carried their manuscripts and ran to Europe in order to protect their lives, in order to save themselves. So, when that knowledge reached to Europe, over there, it got translated and the printing press, it played a vital role because with the help of printing press, those manuscripts were got printed in easily, and hence became in access of the common man. Before that, the manuscripts were used to be written with the hands, and those handwritten manuscripts were quite precious, and those were not in easy access for a common man. When the classical Greek and Latin philosophical knowledge, the humanistic knowledge, was translated in English, it got into the access of European people and then became the part of European academia. And with this came a transition of thought in Europe, a transition of ideas in Europe, and hence the emergence of humanism played a vital role in order to break the orthodoxical control of church on English society. Another very prominent figure of that time was Martin Luther, who was also a part of church hierarchies, but he was a radical person. What Martin Luther did was he actually exposed the dilemma that why did the common man deprive from the access of Bible. Martin Luther exposed that the pages of Bible were poisoned at that time by the church societies, by church hierarchies, in order to protect it or in order to prevent the common man to access Bible. Whenever a common man tried to access Bible and tried to read it out, those poisoned pages caused the death of that very person, and then the church hierarchies, they nominated that this very person was sinful, he was a sinner, that's why he touched the Bible and he died. But Martin Luther exposed that it wasn't actually the sin of people, it was actually that poison that caused the death of those persons, and this was due to this was serving a purpose of church hierarchies, because they were manipulating and exploiting the people over there in the name of religion. They were just exploiting them. They were using them by supporting church, and they were using them by supporting a king. And that's why, with the collaboration of monarchy and Christian monastery, the people of England were taken in control. So after this emergence of humanism and this very exposition of Martin Luther, there came a revolution, and that was a remarkable revolution. We all know it with the name of Renaissance. So these are the primary factors that played a vital role in the emergence of Renaissance. And then when we talk about the literary production, those were remarkable. As we all know, that Renaissance is known as the very productive period of English literature, particularly the drama reached to its climax. But I will have a separate discussion with you people on the literary productions of the time of Renaissance, and on the drama of Renaissance. So this was this lecture. In this lecture, I am just in mood of highlighting certain facts regarding Renaissance and the factors behind Renaissance and the features of Renaissance. After the emergence of Renaissance, there are certain people like Descartes, like Bacon, who played a great role in introducing a new schemata of thought in the people of England, and they started new discoveries of land during this time period. As we all know, that they started traveling to different lands, and they with the intention of trade, and with the intention of taking the Christian mission with them, and hence in this way they conquered those areas, they invaded those areas, including North American areas, and then in subcontinent, as we all know that in 1600 East India Company was established in subcontinent. So this was all due to the blessings of Renaissance on English society, and in Europe that they got realization of modernity and advancement, and they got advancement economically, politically, culturally, socially, and as well as literarily. So, my next lecture will discuss the literary features and literary productions of the time of Renaissance, as well as the Renaissancean drama, and we all have our very favorite Shakespeare during this time period. So, we will discuss Shakespearean drama as well. For today, I think it's enough. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.